Good afternoon, YouTube. I think it is afternoon, isn't it? Yep, good. I know it's been a bloody long time since I made a video. My original plan was to make a bunch of tutorials about the Feed the Beast pack, for each mod. But Direwolf beat me to it. And although I could do similar to him, it would seem a bit like going over the same old territory twice, so I thought instead I'll show something that hasn't been shown for a little while. I am going to show you guys how to make a scrapper, my favourite machine. First things first, this is a flat world. Let me just let people know I'm going to do this. There we go. And let's get to work. It gets a little bit laggy when I create a new world because we've got quite a few on the server at the moment. But this is luckily quite a light world, so that's fine. You know what I didn't do? I didn't make a book back. Oh, well, I'll bin that book, we can always teleport back because we can go into creative mode. Let's just do that quickly. Right, creative mode plus 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 plus. Awesome. So, Dave, you're familiar with IC2, right?
Yes. I'm also familiar with that massive tree that's over there that I need to burn down because it's screwing up my frame rate.
Yes, it's lagging me to oblivion. Okay, let's pause the tutorial for a minute while we go and add lots of fire to a tree. This is
why is that
interesting.
really laggy?
I don't know. Laggy? You know, I can't add fire to this tree. That's irritating. Has anyone got any lava handy? These you'll like. You see here it's got webs in it, cobwebs.
Yeah.
This thing, if we were non-creative, would spawn spiders, and under the spiders, once you break that, is a chest full of shinies, including a chestnut sapling which I can't see. But because we're creative mode, that's not important, so I'll just fill it with lava instead.
That's cool. A fuamium pickaxe.
Formium, something like that. This isn't. Lava doesn't seem to be affecting it, so I'm just going to.
How do you fly?
In creative mode, it's double space. I'm sure you've done creative before, haven't you?
No, I've done it. No.
Let me go deal with this tree anyway. It seems to be spawning a lot of mobs.
Oh, this is all sort of dying with one hit.
Yeah, it's creative mode. Everything dies with one hit.
What about that massive tree over in the corner? Oh, you've really dumped some lava on it.
Yeah, it's probably going to make a real mess of the world.
What spawns those trees? Is it because I really hate those bloody things?
No, it's to do with the terrain generation. God, I'm really lagging now.
Yeah.
You know what will be better?
What?
Where are you? You're over there. Right, come on, let's just wander off in this direction for a bit until we're nowhere near big trees.
Okay.
Bloody things. Oh, you see that mound under it, under that tree?
Yeah.
That is a Formcraft dungeon. So come. They're a nightmare if you don't have decent armour. But what it is it's a big overground dungeon, and in there you've got multiple mob spawners and a load of shiny chests.
How do I come down?
Just crouch. It's getting noisy in here. Just turn my volume down so that people don't. Whoops! I almost changed my game to Afrikaans then. Right. So yes. Yeah, there's lots of mob spawners in here. Well, 2 usually, a bunch of creepers, and at the very bottom you'll find shiny chests full of formium swords, shinies, all that kind of stuff. So it's all very exciting. Plus, of course, you've got lots of mob spawners for XP grinding and item grinding. So come on with me then. Come on, out you get. You know, I don't think I really helped that tree much. Anyway, this way. This way. Tell you what, I'll restart the video when we find somewhere nice and safe. Right, this looks like a nice spot anyway. So, what I'm going to do now is I'll get you, if you can, with creative mode to set up a power source. Put down an MFSU and a bunch of solar panels or something. And I will set up a nice little row of scrappers. They're not called scrappers, they're called recyclers. So if you could possibly do that quickly.
Oh, sorry. What do you want? MFSU
and a bunch of solar panels, yeah. And if you build them over there, I'll build these here, and I'll show the general principle of how wonderful these things are in a second. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's say 8 in a row. The usual way I do it is like that. because that's the way it is.
Does it come fully? Oh no, we've got to power it up, haven't we?
Yes, you do. Hence the solar panels.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got a bunch of recyclers here. You remember recyclers, right? Any item you put in them will have a chance of becoming scrap. Now, there's a wonderful little addition from I can't remember the name of the mod now. Thermal expansion called.
Can I give myself an ultimate hybrid solar panel?
Yeah, go nuts. In fact, as you're an op, give yourself a what's it called? There's a generator that's op only, admin only. There you go, quantum generator. It'll give you any amount of power you want, any output you want. It's great fun. But yeah, I've forgotten what I was saying now. Yes, there's a block in thermal expansion called the igneous extruder, and there it is. It's a beautiful little block. Let me show you. I think I've shown Dave this before, so for those who don't know, grab a couple of those and a couple of these, and I will show you why it's so good.
How many of these solar panels do you want, by the way?
Oh, just enough to give a little trickle. To be honest, we're only going to be using 16 EUs a tick. Right,
okay,
so
well,
you saw there.
So.
Yes, no worries. So yeah, you saw here anyway, you put in a lava bucket, lava goes to the left, you put in a water bucket, water goes to the right, and you select cobblestone up there, and what does it do? It generates cobblestone. Now I've had a lot of people saying to me, oh my god, this is so OP. But to be fair, it is exactly the same as this setup. You got water, you got lava, and what you got? Cobble generator, although they're usually vertical, because otherwise that happens. Alright, give me a second and I'll show the basics of what this is replacing. I know, I'm useless. Actually, one of them. I mean, people are familiar with cobble generators, I'm pretty sure. Why are you doing that? You're in creative mode, you can punch to death any block.
I like to use drills, I'm a drill kind of guy.
Useless boy. Right, glass. Bit of glass, so we can see
I'm counting how many times you say that, by the way.
What, glass or stupid boy?
2.
So yeah, and a red power block breaker. That's probably not the right thing to search. There we go, and a screwdriver we'll need as well. I'm sure people are familiar with this, but just for those that aren't, then you should be. Turn it around until it's facing the right way. Add a timer. And you're laughing. So if we take this down to 1.5 seconds, that's about the ideal speed, and it spams out cobble. So that, there, all you got to think is, with the power of miniaturization, you have a little bit of lava, a little bit of water, and a timer, and a block breaker, all in this block. And this block will give you cobble.
Yeah, it's not like it's chucking out diamond blocks every tick, is it, really?
Yeah, it's not doing anything you can't do yourself, but it's doing it in a smaller space. Like, for example, the red power timers. They do exactly what you can do with a load of redstone, but in a smaller space. So there's no real issue with it, in my opinion. But one of the better parts of it... Stop that. Right, one of the better parts of it is you can select, if you right-click on it, click the configuration button, you can select what happens to the outputs and input sides. For example, the blues, if we disable all of them, then there's no blues. The blues won't go anywhere, nothing can input to them, because otherwise you can pipe in fluids to each side, which is great fun. But orange is now an output, so if we disable all the sides apart from this one, I'll demonstrate. Put a chest down, and when that ticks, there you go, it starts to fill up. Now that's filling up 4 at a time because there was already stuff in the chest, in the machine. But basically, what it means is this is a cobble generator that outputs to other chests or inventories all in one block. And all you need to do is supply lava and water. Now that makes this job of recyclers a lot easier, because all we have to do is put a row of these on top. Like so. Whoops. Oh, for God's sake. Right, I'm here. Okay. Now, What we need to do then, if I could borrow your services again, Dave, to fill each of these with a bucket of water, and I'll do the same with lava.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, there we go. One lava there. One lava there. One lava there. One lava there.
Oh wait, I should have given myself a stack really, shouldn't I?
Well, you can't stack them, can you?
Mm.
I've tried it with actual lava and I don't think it works.
How do you do? How do you? Oh, one of your blocks, by the way.
Oh, for God's sake! Spend all this time filling them up. How do I what?
Do I just give myself a load of water buckets, or is there an easy way
for now
to fill them up?
Oops! Oh, just gone and give them 2 in that one. But no, there's no real easy way. Remember, you can control-click a bucket and it will give you another one.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no real. The empty buckets stack now. Nice little feature introduced recently.
Yeah.
So that's fun. Whoops! Almost put another bucket in there. So now let's see what we can do. So what happens is, I only did 16 of these because that's the kind of values I like to work with when I make my own little segments of them. It seems a lot, and it is a lot to fill up in the beginning, but how are you getting on?
Water's down one side.
We've got a few of them, and as people can see, every time it makes a cobble, it outputs directly into the recycler. So now what we need is a couple of cables. Ooh, fibre cables should be able to handle this, I think. Now, if you're running directly from generators, one thing you can do is, because generators are low output in general, most of them, like the first solar panels and stuff like that, they will only output 1 or 2 EUs a tick, something along those lines, and water generators even less. So what you can do is just use tin cables straight from the generators if it's a steady supply. If you're not worried about steady supplies, it doesn't matter too much. You're spamming up my screen.
I know.
Actually, I'm going to need some what are they called, transformers for this job, aren't I? Otherwise I'll blow all our stuff sky high, which is probably what a lot of viewers were waiting for me to do, because I have been known to do that in the past. I'm not sure if I've done it on video or not though. I've definitely done it myself. Right, so we've got plenty of power in this thing, haven't we? Yeah, we do. Cool.
And just so people are aware, yes, I did get my PC fixed finally.
Yes, you're still alive, aren't you? I haven't blown up all these machines. Good, and as you can see, they're now recycling, which is brilliant. So we've got a constant supply of cobble coming in here at a slow pace, and this recycles slightly slower than cobble is produced. So after not a lot of time, this thing will be full of cobble, and the backlog, because of these machines being face-to-face, won't overflow. So you'll never have an issue like that, and you'll always have a permanent supply of items to recycle. Now you may think that's absolutely brilliant, what's the point? Well, Mr. Dave, are you familiar with Red Power and all its intricacies?
I remember Red Power and a lot of its bastarding and intricacies.
And what have you used on it before?
What, in Red Power?
Yeah.
I don't know, I can't remember.
You remember the pneumatic tubes?
Oh, those bloody things, yeah. I remember how much of a pain in the arse it was.
No, they're much better than pipes and everything because they never overflow. And they only if you're sending items along them, they only go into an inventory they can go into.
That's right, yep.
Or they'll return to sender.
I'm thinking of blue Billcroft tubes, aren't I?
Oh, yes you are, and those are annoying. They have their place, but not in any of my constructions. So, yeah, we have a nice little network of Red Power tubes now. And these are going to each individual construction. Now what I used to have, before Red Power came back in the last update, was I used to have Buildcraft, what are they called, the wooden pipes, and a bunch of engines extracting from this. And then I thought, oh, Red Power, I can add transposers, all in one block, a lot easier. And then I thought, actually, there's a block called the Retriever. Whoops, which I cannot spell to save my life. Now, what the Retriever can do, I need a screwdriver again, don't I? That's not how you spell screwdriver. Right. What the Retriever can do, in fact, I'm going to put this down a block so it's easier to see. If I face it the right way. There we go. Let's grab ourselves a piece of scrap out of here, because they're still not very full on scrap. If I changed this little option down here. Usually you'll fill this thing with lots of different items that you want it to do, and like that, and it will go round robin style. It will go to the first one, then go to the next one, then go to the next one. But if I put it like that, it will take any item it can that matches its content. So if I put a scrap there and a bucket there, each tick it will be able to retrieve a bucket and a scrap from wherever it is going. Now if you click the colours down here, it'll stick to only colour networks of that type, so I'd be able to colour all of these green, have another retriever on the same pipeline and all of those coloured pink or something, and it'd be fine. So what we'd do first is a bit of scrap. Actually, this thing needs power, bluetricity, so let me grab a couple of battery boxes, and usually I will use thermopiles because they go out of the way. So you can't see them, they don't get in the way, they're nice and discreet, but because we're on a time constraint here, I'm going to spam out solar panels. And these things aren't exactly quick for charging, so one feature they've got now in Red Power is windmills, but I can't remember how to make those, so I'm not going to show. But they produce a lot of power, and they're very shiny. Is this thing getting any power in yet? I'll tell you what, let's break a few, so we only have one to charge. Doopy-doopy-doo. You having fun yet?
Oh yeah. It's charging, it's charging, it's charging.
And when it gets to the top of the charge meter, the battery will start to fill up with excess energy, which is very exciting. Now, I've found in the past that a couple of thermopiles, it'll take hours and hours to fill this thing with power, but once it's powered up, the amount it uses is minimal. So a couple of thermopiles will run one of these quite happily. If anyone can prove me wrong on that, please do. Right, if I put this on a tick of 1 second, what it's doing now is every tick, it's extracting 1 scrap from the machines. Which is all well and good, but you think, if you have each of these machines producing 1 scrap every 5 or 6 seconds, eventually this isn't going to keep up. So what I prefer to do is I put them in stacks of 4 in the retriever, which means when any machine has 4 scrap, then it will retrieve that instead. Once a second you'll get 4 scrap through, hopefully. And what that means is it's a lot less stressful for the poor machine, and you've got room for improvement as well. Now you're never going to need 1 scrap at a time, so going in larger chunks is fine. You could do it at 32 or something like that if you really wanted to, and it would have no problems. If I got a chest around here, this is getting messy. Oh, there's one. So as you can see, it's retrieving all this wonderful scrap. Now you may say, what on earth's the point of that? That's useless. What are you talking about? Why are you making us do this? Let me demonstrate. Are you, Dave, familiar with auto crafting tables from Buildcraft? Dun, dun, dun.
Yes.
They are fantastic.
Yep, the ability to have the tables craft stuff for you, so you have no input whatsoever. It literally, it's like a recipe. You stick in the middle what you want it to make, and then it will make it all for you automatically.
It will indeed. And you can put that next to an inventory, and you can grab 9 scrap out of there, like so. Now, what do you need to power it? An electric engine, right?
You should probably ignore that.
Ignore what? Wooden redstone engine. I mean, ignore what?
No, don't worry. If you didn't hear it, it's fine.
Cool.
Stuff falling over on my end.
Right, so power it out of an electric engine, and what do you get? You get scrap coming out. There it is. Bit of a delay on the visual there. I think the visuals don't show up in these pipes at the moment for some reason. Let me confirm that, because I had this problem earlier on, where if I put a load of stone transport pipes afterwards, it would show up in the stone ones, but not in the wooden one. That's falling out anyway at the moment. Give it a second. Yeah, there you go. They're showing up when they get as far as there. It's really strange. But anyway, this is outdated. Guess what we have now?
What's that?
You're supposed to guess.
What do we have now? Something that makes it a lot easier, that can actually pump out the actual product of the...
Yes, indeed. We have from... Oh, what's that mod called? Factorization. We have a craft packet maker and a packager and something else. Yeah, lots of fun blocks, but the main one we want is the packager. Here it is. What this does is very exciting. Any items you put in it in the left-hand slot, right, they will craft into, as you can see on the left, it's got a 2x2, for example, and a 3x3, right? And you may think, who cares, what's the point in that? Allow me to show you. Once I find some stone, for example. If you put that in there, it will craft it into 4 stone bricks, because what it does, any items you input in the left, it will try and do a 2x2 crafting grid of it, and then it will try and do a 3x3, although I think that's the other way around. So if you don't have Greg's tech installed, you can stick a load of iron in there and it will craft it into an iron block. But if it's something like smooth stone like that, which can only go in a 2x2, then it will craft it into bricks for you. And as you can see, it's not a slow machine. What this means for us is, if we just grab a little transposer to pump the items through... Why do I always throw away the screwdriver? I know I'm going to need it again.
Numpty.
There we go. It's always the last one you do, isn't it? Yes, because you won't keep on doing it once you got there. I need another timer, actually. Right. So that ticks over, and that's throws scrap into the wrong place. Right. So yeah, tube system is necessary to get that sheep out of the way.
Cool.
Oh, go away.
The scrap box, the iron chest's gone, by the way.
Oh, was that my fault?
Probably, yeah.
Chest. Oh, that's alright. The transposer sucked up all the items anyway.
Oh, okay.
Why are they all coming back? Oh yeah, because it had so many items it can't all fit in there at this point. So yeah, the transposer, you're probably best doing this in a vertical fashion so it'll drop it straight in the top and not overflow. But as you can see, it's turning them automatically into scrap boxes.
Now, Mikey, will it ever overflow this block? I.e., will
No.
you get so much scrap that it's gonna
Nope.
it can't physically pump out anything else?
What will happen is what you saw a minute ago, right? Where all the scrap will just ignore that. Where all the scrap will just carry on bouncing back and forth. It will only try one. If there's no space in the destination, why do I keep doing that? If there's no space in the destination, this thing won't pump out any more items. But when it does, and the destination fills up before it gets
it's
there,
red power piping.
yeah. If it does pump one out and the destination fills up before it gets there, it'll bounce the items back and forth. Now with this, as you can see, it's going a bit slow. This thing is... Whoop, what on earth have I pressed there? Anyway, as you can see, it's going a bit slower than that thing can handle. So if you really want, you can replace this with a filter, which, as we know, can pull out entire stacks at a time, which is very nice. That's not the right way to face it. There we go. There we go. It can pull out an entire stack every time it ticks, and that fills that up nicely. So now you think, what on earth is the point of that? Because we have scrap boxes.
Well, scrap boxes that need to be turned into relevant items. Each scrap box contains a random item that may or may not be of any use to you.
Exactly. Every scrap box has a random item in it. Allow me to demonstrate by throwing items at Dave. Whee! As you can see, because I'm in creative mode, I can spam them out indefinitely. Ooh, did not know that. But as
now,
you can
Mikey,
see,
do you get
random.
items from other mods spam out in random boxes as well?
What do you mean?
I.e., can you get...
Oh yes, I see exactly what you mean. Well, scrap boxes have... Each mod adds their own recipes to it sometimes. You can get out of here, you can get silver, you can get silver dust, you can get little gems from... I can't remember which mod gives those little gems. These dusts are from GregTech. That machine part you just saw there was from GregTech. You get all sorts of fun stuff. Let me take a selection.
We have some charcoal dust that doesn't actually exist.
Yeah, some fun stuff in there, isn't there? But you can turn that into other stuff. Netherrack dust, calcite. You can use all these things for something enjoyable. But how do you auto-deploy them? I will show you. So these are... What?
That's a very complex ID that thing's got.
Yes, those aren't IDs. Those are chemical formulas underneath them of what they are in real life. I can't tell where the use is at the moment in game, but still. So yes, we have a chest full of shinies here. Well, chest full of scrap boxes. Let's get this thing working a bit more. Let's add some more scrap, just so we know it's having a runner through. That'll fill that thing up nicely. Oh, it's not working because it doesn't tick. Now it does. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that. It's going to be one of those years, isn't it? Right, so now it's spamming out scrap boxes in there. What's the use of that, you may think? Allow me to show you. All of this can be made much smaller later on. What we need now is a red power deployer. Now, the red power deployer, for those of you who are familiar with it, it will, any item you put in it, it will deploy by using the equivalent of the right mouse button click. So, with a right mouse button click on a scrap box, it deploys the items. Isn't that exciting? Filter. So let's get all these items spamming into there then. Like I say, this is a very messy setup, so there are better ways to do this. So all these items are now spamming into here, and if we do this, it will spam out the result. But it seems to spam out in random directions, which is rather annoying. So what I tend to do... Was that a diamond? Oh, I thought I saw a diamond then. So what I tend to do is...
We're not allowed to take anything from here to other worlds. That is the rule that
yeah, this is
made
fully
up here.
creative. So yeah, a little box where they can't get out of. So all the items will spam in there. Best way to get around this is a transposer below it. Although not by doing that. Transposer, any item drops in it and it will transpose it. So you don't actually need a redstone pulse for that kind of thing. It will just go straight through. Put a chest there, and as you can see, the items that drop on top are going straight to the chest. So any item you get from this now, and let's dump the ones I've picked up.
So a transposer doesn't require red power to move then?
If something touches the transposer, it will send it. But if something's not touching it, it's attached to a chest, it will need a tick for it to, a red power, redstone tick for it to work.
Because it's next to the...
Yes, indeed. It's all very exciting, isn't it? So yeah, this thing's filling up nicely. As you can see, there's a large quantity of different items that you have here. And a lot of them don't stack, and a lot of them are pretty useless, like wooden pickaxes. You get a lot of wooden tools. So, basically, what you need is some kind of sorting machine. But I'm not going to go into that this time, because that's a lot more complicated. All I wanted to show was the best ways of getting these. So the amount of scrap we've got coming out there at the moment, I have in my world something similar, and an overnight when you've got the chunk loader, this wonderful little chunk loader here from Chicken Bones, I believe it is. Oh, that was clever.
Sorry.
Stupid boy. Oh no, I teleported
what's your
to
fault
you.
now you're there?
Oh no. Oh no, let's go find our world again. Be right back. Right, so here we are back. Dave's just arriving, and we have this wonderful little chunk loader here. You can put it any radius you want, but I don't recommend going too high because you'll probably kill whoever's server it is. A couple of chunks is usually fine. If you show lasers, it shows how far the chunks are loaded. Isn't that exciting and laggy? Let's hide that. If you do a square or a circle, the circle will be a circle around it again. What are you doing over there?
Nothing. I'm fine. Right, carry on.
So yeah, I've got a few of these in my world with a chunk loader going, and overnight you get vast quantities of shiny materials. You'll get iron and stone and stuff like that. One thing people should be aware of is, and this is very important, you also get stuff like minecarts, you get golden helmets, all those wonderful little things, right? And empty cells. Empty cells, very useful for all the Greg Tech stuff, but if you don't want them for that, you can macerate empty cells. You can macerate them down into dust. And you'll get an equal amount of dust back. You get small dust normally, but you'll get an equal amount back to craft back into tin. So you'll get the same amount out of it. Golden helmets, you can either alloy furnace them down into 5 gold, or you can macerate them down into 5 gold dust. I prefer macerating because I've got more IC2 power at the moment than I do red power power. Red power power. That works. Same with minecarts. You can do it either way, and also you get cans, food cans. There's an awful lot of cans in this game. Food cans. Well, there's somewhere around here. Let's have a look. Here they are. Filled tin can. That, if you put in an extractor, it will remove the food from it. It won't give you the food, it will destroy it, but it will give you the tin can back. And a tin can you can also macerate. In fact, you can macerate wooden tools as well into pulp. But the amount you get back from them is minimal. You'll need a lot of tools to get even 1 or 2 wood. So I don't recommend that. I personally reroute them to lava or something like that. Now, I just want to show something else here. Why did you break my chunk loader?
What's the radius of the chunk loader?
It says in it.
Well, I can access it. It wasn't mine, so I'm going to make my own.
That's a very good point. Yes, only the person who owns the chunk loader can actually see it, see what's in it. Otherwise, it'll just say you're not the owner. I'll demonstrate that when Dave does it. See, it says at the top, Oxygen 13. On Dave's one, it says you are almighty, all-powerful. So, no, it says this chunk loader does not belong to you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's quite important. Usually I just bury them under my base
somewhere.
Show
lasers. I don't know how the lasers on it. That's pretty amazing.
They're laggy as hell, yeah. It's nice to show the range so that you can actually go up to the edge and see what's going on. Right, there's something else I want to show quickly, which is not my preferred choice. Greg's Tech has an item called a scrap boxinator. Now what this does, where's our scrap? That crafts it into that, that does it into that. Right, let's destroy all these, put that there. Now, let's go forward. Let's give it a bit of power. And a couple of solar panels. Just to give it enough power to do something interesting. In fact, let's give it a sensible solar panel. Yeah. Right, so, has this got a scrap box in it? Yes, it does. When it receives power... When it receives enough power, there you go, you can see it's emptied the item. The scrap box will be emptied up the top.
1 sec, come back in.
What are you doing? There's my chest. Yeah, so, if you have a look inside here, you'll see when it's got enough power, the scrap box, right, it opens the scrap box and puts the item in the top. And if you put a chest next to it, like so, the next time it ticks, like when something changes in it, actually let's take that out. I don't think it's getting enough power. No, it's not. 1 second.
The texture's not working on that box for me.
What's it showing?
It's showing translucent. It's showing the box is translucent. On the scrap boxinator, it's showing it's translucent, bar one side of it.
You've probably got an old version of the texture pack then. I'll give you mine in a bit. What's it doing? Yeah, so if I take the item out of there, oh, right, the output side is over here, isn't it? I forgot about that. The output side, if you put a chest on it, it will send all its items into there. Every time it ticks, it will eject the item instead of putting it in its top inventory. So this actually cuts a long story short from all the other stuff we're doing. All of this here can be whittled down into one box, which may seem great, but you also have to power it. These machines over here are free to run. So it's entirely up to you whether you want space or not, because if you can just wire this up to your energy grid, it saves a lot of time.
Space is good.
Yeah. So
I mean,
you
to
can
be honest,
use Greg's scrap
once you've got
box
enough power and you've got so much power you don't know what to do, you can then simplify it down and just use the space for something else. But it's a good startup just to do the whole thing first.
But as you can see, the recipe for it is a bit of a nightmare. You got steel machine hull, advanced machine blocks. You all know what goes into them. Dispensers, electric item clearer. The electric item clearer needs an advanced machine block, and small electric buffer. The small electric buffer can only be made by making a large electric buffer, which will give you 8 of them. A large electric buffer takes all this shiny stuff. So as you can see, it's a bit of a headache to get that far. It's craftable, and it's not a huge amount of mats. It's just like everything else in Greg's, stacks within stacks of stuff you got to craft up. But either way, as you can see, that will cut down a lot of stuff, a lot of sorting and processing, all into one box. But I personally prefer this method. It may be messy, but to be honest, I have all of these here, all of this first stage, heading to a an ender chest, where it's after it's been turned into scrap boxes. They head to the ender chest, and then somewhere else I've got one of these that will, if I have a dozen of these blocks of scrappers, they will all go to the ender chest themselves and be deployed in one place, and that feeds my sorter. When I finally get around, look, you can see this thing's almost full already. So yeah, those feed my sorter. Job done. And overnight you will get so many resources you never need to mine again. or at least that's what I tell people. Unfortunately, you can't get iridium from it, and you can't get what's the other one we need? Vitally. You also need nickelite for red power to make quite a lot of stuff, especially the thermopiles that I use to power these things.
Yeah, Nikolite's pretty easy to find if you go down far enough, though. To be
well,
fair,
exactly.
Stacks and stacks of the stuff.
Nikolite is everywhere, but if for somebody who can't be bothered to mine like me, there's no alternative. I have to.
What's the first 4 letters of the game we are playing, Mr. Mikey boy?
Yes, I know. I know it's part and parcel. But I went to make a mining laser today, and I realised the insanity that Greg adds to it. Have you seen a mining laser lately?
Not recently, yeah.
You need titanium, advanced alloys, advanced chipsets, lithium batteries, rubies, and a 360k helium coolant cell, which takes a lot of mats. A lot of mats. And helium itself, one of them is only made from... The cheapest way to make it is glowstone. Over 250 seconds, you'll get 16 glowstone into 1 helium cell, and you need 6 of them to make a laser. So it's going to take you a good long time and a lot of EUs before you can make your laser. Stop that! Keep freaking me out.
Mikey's going to play a brand new game.
Huh? So anyway, that is my scrapper. And I much prefer this to going around mining like a miner. So I hope this has been educational for you lot, and I hope you can think of lots of nice ways to make it neater and tidier, because mine is a bit of a mess at the moment. In fact, I'm going to show you all mine. TPX 16 is the Nexus. Just so people know. Dave, TPX 16.
I'm here.
Cool. So this is my world over here. I've really made a mess of it at the moment. I've built a big old box just to work in, and I've been slowly but surely trying to neaten it up, but failing miserably. My sorting machine is currently disgustingly messy. In fact, I've tried to move it upstairs, where I've been working on turning titanium dust into proper dust, small dust into normal dust, and sorting machines and all of that. And as you can see, this is just like a couple of days worth of work. So it's great. My actual recyclers are outside because I wanted to make a nice little... Look, another one of those bloody trees. Once the world loads, here it is. I wanted to make it in modular fashion so that I could add lots and lots to them. This is...
Oh, I see. You just made a barrel and just sticking everything in.
Yes. So yeah, this is my recycler setup currently, and all of this gets summoned. I made it so that I can do it in a star shape, but I haven't moved it yet. So these get summoned along every 4 like the others, and they get sent to the ender chest, which goes back to the other world. I've got my generators here, and I've got my thermopiles feeding it all, so it's all self-sufficient.
What's this do?
Where are you? What are you doing all the way over there? Oh, broke my world. Can't get in, can't get in. Can't get in! Oh, for God's sake. Right. Anyway, what's what do? That's a charging pad.
Alright.
It's a level 2 charging pad. I can't live without that mod. I don't care whether it's in the mod packs or not. I will add charging pads. Stand on them, charge all your armour.
Oh, right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
That is quite
brilliant.
handy. Oh, this is your world, is it?
It is. But anyway.
What's building over here?
I just explained it to everybody.
I know, but
It's
I
my
wasn't
scrap
following.
system. Pay attention.
Oh, I see. It's what we were building. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yes. So yeah, that's all my stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this, despite Dave.
Yep.
And Enderman and dumping items randomly. So yeah, we'll see you guys in a new video later. Bye bye.
Bye bye.